Okay, so we're gonna lift the car into the air. If you only have one jack and jack stand, you can do this one wheel at a time. And if not, this is what we're gonna do. We went ahead and put our front jack stand there. We lifted with the jack here in the middle. I have nice subframe connectors for that. And then we put our other jack here on the back of the subframe connector. If you don't have subframe connectors, then the jack stand needs to go here instead. And you could lift right about here on that support beam. But now we're gonna just go around to the other side and do the same thing so that the whole car is off the ground and all the wheels are off. That way we can jump back and forth to different wheels as we're doing this. Another tip is to make sure to break loose the lug nuts first. Don't take them off, but at least break them loose on the front so that you don't have a wheel that's spinning when it's in the air and you're trying to remove them. Okay, so I installed jack stands on this side as well. And just make sure when you're lifting on one side, you watch the other side that it's not coming off of the jacks. But anyway, so now the car is completely in the air. We're going to go ahead and remove all the wheels. And in this case, it's a 21mm socket for that. Okay, so the car is in the air. The next thing we're going to do, under the hood, locate the brake master cylinder. And this is the reservoir for it right here. And during this process, it's okay to have the cap off, but you still want it in place. You just have it loosened. But the main thing is, you'll see a fill level here on the side where it says max. You want to keep it up to that level the whole time. As we bleed the brakes, we're going to be losing fluid, so you want to make sure you're constantly watching this and adding more fluid to it, because if the level gets too low, you're going to start pushing air into the system, and that's what we're trying to get out, is all the air bubbles. So make sure you watch this like a hawk every time you're compressing the pedal. So next we're going to locate the bleeder screw. Now when bleeding brakes, you typically go to the farthest brake caliper away from the reservoir. So we're going to start over here, and then we'll go to the driver's side rear, and then the front passenger side, and then finally the driver's side. Okay, so the bleeder screw is right here on the brake caliper. You're going to remove this little guy here. It's just a cover for it. And it's going to be a 7/16 inch bolt here. And so you can see the very top of it has the nipple for the fluid to come out. So the 7/16 inch wrench, you're going to put it over it like that. You do not want the ratcheting one, because what we're going to need to do is open and close this. Open it up, let it bleed out, and then hurry and close it. Anyway, the wrench goes on here. And so next we're going to put our tube. It's going to just be a tube that goes to a bottle, and that bottle is going to be located higher than this area here, so that the bubbles will go and siphon up into the bottle. So I'll show you the bottle here now. Okay, so what you're going to need is a little bottle. This is the actual kit that comes, that you can buy, but people have used a Gatorade bottle or whatever they've come up with. But the whole idea here is we're going to fill this bottle up to a level where the tube that's coming in will be submerged, and that way it won't allow the fluid to go back into the brake line of the car. So basically you can see this goes down about that deep, so we're going to fill with clean brake fluid, just in case it did come back. We're going to fill it up to about that level and then put the lid back on. And then we're going to be using this to bleed the brakes. Brake fluid, very important. Do your research and find out what you want to use. In my case, I wasn't going to mix them and do anything like that, so I'm also doing my Yukon. And both of these cars from the factory take .3, so that's what we're going to use for that. But you want to use clean brake fluid, and it does expire once it's been opened. Once air gets into the system and moisture, that's kind of what ruins the brake fluid. So I got a bigger one here because I may even just flush the entire system while I'm at this. But anyway, so we're going to fill this up with clean brake fluid about halfway through the bottle so that that tube can reach it. Okay, so I filled that up, maybe even a little high, but anyway, our tube can reach down into that fluid now as we screw this back on. It's a good idea to take some liquid wrench and come around and just spray at the base here where you're going to be opening these, just to let it loosen up so you don't snap one of these off. Okay, so we're going to come in with our bottle here, and you want to make sure that the bottle is higher than this point here. You're going to take the other end of the tube and you're going to push it over the nipple that's on the car. Okay, so that's on there good and tight. So as you can see, we have our bottle higher up, and then we have this here. Okay, so we added fluid even a little bit over the max line because we know we're going to lose some. We're just going to set that down there. Now I do have my wife in the car who's going to be pushing the pedal for us here. Okay, so my wife's inside the car. What she's going to do is she's going to pump and hold the brake pedal. So she's going to pump it about 3 times and then hold it. So go ahead and pump the brakes 3 times. Okay, now hold it tight. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is we're going to break this open by turning it counterclockwise, and the pedal is going to start to come down to the floor, and she's going to keep pushing on it. As it gets close to the bottom, she's going to tell us, okay, it's getting close, or bottom, or whatever you want her to say. Okay, and so that lets me know that the pedal is all the way towards the bottom. She's not going to lift on the brake pedal until we close this valve back up. Okay, so you're pushing down? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and break this open. And then I'm going to close it. Okay, did you feel the pedal go down? Okay. Now, you want to check that level, even though it likely hasn't gone down much for 1. Okay. We're going to just make sure that this level never gets down too low. And you can always just add more as you're going here. Okay, so we've closed this. Now that it's closed, go ahead and raise the pedal again, pump 3 times, and hold. Okay, you're holding it? Yeah. Okay, we're going to open this again. There we go. And close it. Okay, and the pedal. Okay, very good. Okay, this is closed. Go ahead and lift the pedal again. Pump 3 times. Okay, now hold. You're pushing on the pedal? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to open it again. And hurry and close it. Okay. Did it reach the bottom? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and lift on the pedal again. Pump 3 times. And hold. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open this. And close it again. Okay. Now we're going to check real quick on this level. It's come down just a little bit, but we're nowhere in our danger zone. But what we're going to do now is add more to this. Okay, I'm just going to come back up to that max line. Just make sure that that level never gets too low. So something to mention is the sizes of the wrench may be different that you'll have to use. For this car particularly, it was a 7/16 inch wrench for the rear and a 10 millimeter, a smaller one for the front. Okay, so now we're just going to move from the back passenger side to the rear driver's side. Then we're going to come up to the front passenger side and then the front driver's side. Repeat that process until it's all done. Okay, we installed the wheel, 100 foot-pounds on the lug nuts there.